Welcome to this episode of The Rush. I'm Hannah Duncan.
And I'm Michael Hardwick. This week we bring you lots of preseason coverage for spring sports, including baseball, softball, tennis, track, and girls soccer. We also have a feature story on retiring football coach and athletic director Dan Rourke. Let's get the show started.
The Glenwood baseball team is busy getting ready for the beginning of their season. We have more with senior Brendan Hostetler.
Well, we just, just keeping the body in shape and, working hard. There's really no off time for anything. There's a bunch of guys that are always working throughout the winter and getting ready for the upcoming season. This year is going to be a little bit tougher because we lost a lot of our seniors from last year. I believe 6 of our 9 seniors last year were all starters. So, we're going to have to find some people that can step up and fill in those gaps. Probably some of the older guys. There was a lot of older guys that, we looked up to last year, and I think we're going to have to fill in those roles this year. Biggest strength, probably a pitching. We found this out the other day. We have 13 pitchers this year, so we're going to have to see who's ready to be on the spot and who's not. Probably the starters. We don't really have a set lineup yet. We just started practice, and the coaches are still trying to see what everybody can do. So I think after these next couple of practices before the season starts, we're going to have some answers.
This preseason report was brought to you by Wheelfast Bicycle Company in Chatham.
The boys are at South Park to start their season against Jacksonville on Tuesday, March 22nd at 4:30.
The softball team is rebuilding after losing a lot of talented seniors from last year. We have more with Nicole Haberkorn, Janik Squibb, Amanda Balster, and Sarah Bingenheimer on their preparation for the upcoming season.
It's going to be tough, but I know we have a lot of people who are willing to step up. I know Janik maybe has never played third as much as she normally has, but this year she's really trying to step up and fill in any position that needs to be filled.
Yeah, and I think even though we lost a lot of great players last year, we also practiced with them last year, and so while we don't have as much experience as them, we do have experience because we scrimmaged against them. We got to watch them learn and grow, and so that has helped us a lot too. I think in practice, defense is going to play a lot into it. So every year we kind of start new, so right now we're just going through the learning curve, relearning everything, making sure that our skills are set before we start playing games in a few weeks. I think we're both going to say, as a team, we want to walk away with a state title. I mean,
That's always the number one goal.
Yeah. I think Coach emphasizes that we always put our team first, and so that is our goal as a team, and whatever we take away with it, individually, that is just a byproduct of the team goal.
I think this year, like you said, losing so many talented players, it's really important for us seniors to teach the younger kids what we learned from the class last year, which is really just to always be a leader on and off the field and to make good connections with your teammates, because all in all, good chemistry is going to win you ball games over anything else. My goal is really for me just to always stay positive and to remember, it's about the next pitch, the next play, because something I do is I get frustrated at myself, and so I need to learn to overcome that because I'm not just playing for myself, I'm playing for my teammates and the school and all. So that's my personal goal, and I think as a team, we all need to try to be more positive and stay energized, because a lot of times, at the beginning of the games, we're like, yeah, let's go, and then at the end, we're like, okay, we're tired of this. So we need to stay energized throughout the whole game and keep our confidence up in order to do that. Well, just like every sport, SHG always tries to come at us, and we always try to come at them. This year in particular, I think we really need to get our pitching on them, because if we can get rid of their offense, they're not going to be as strong. And then also we need to amp up our offense, because they have a good pitcher, and I play with Whitney a lot in the summer and fall and winter, but I think that she's hittable, and so if we can get a grasp on her, I think we have a good chance of winning.
Well, the seniors were really good. They were great role models to look up to. They taught us a lot of what we know, so that really helps us. We know expectations from Edgar because they helped us get there, and they're going to be tough shoes to fill because they were great athletes, but we're just going to have to work even harder at practice and get to those positions. Rochester and SHG because they are good teams. They have good pitchers, good hitters, solid defense. But we're going to be good this year once we get working and get solid in our defense as well.
The Rush is brought to you by State Farm. For all the nevers in your life, State Farm is there.
The Lady Titans begin their season on Saturday, March 19th, a week from tomorrow, as they head to Belleville West starting at 11 a.m.
The boys tennis team is practicing already as well for their season. We have more now with Mason Byers and Zach Tenenhouse for details about the team and their competition this season.
I think last season we did very good as a team. One of our freshmen, Kevin Zhang, he actually went to state as a freshman, so that's really good. And tennis state is a little more difficult to get into rather than other sports. I think as a team we need to work on doubles a lot. We have strong singles players, but we definitely need to work on doubles as a team.
During our conference tournament, we did really well. We ended up winning conference, but this year we hope to win sectionals as well and really improve as a team.
I think a team strength is definitely our singles players. We have awesome singles players, and also a lot of young kids on our team are our strength. So if you look at our junior and our sophomore class, those are going to be our stronger players on the team.
Our biggest strength is definitely our depth in our team this year. Our 3 through 6 guys got a lot better. They're working a lot harder, and they're going to be a lot better this year.
Right now it's definitely Springfield High School. Coach will tell it to us too. He hates to lose to him, and so he emphasizes that we really need to beat him this year, and I'll agree with him. Springfield has great players, and overall since last season it's just somewhat of a rivalry between our schools in tennis.
Definitely Springfield High School. They have a very good team, and they're going to be our toughest competition.
Right now it's just a lot of drills. At the beginning of the season we do a lot of running, and that usually gets us stronger really fast, just a lot of sprinting drills. So with running and stuff like that, regular drills, he likes to see us play each other, and he just emphasizes on picking out weaknesses on the players that you're going up against. And so coach is just making sure our strokes are in tune and all right, so when it comes to a match, we'll be fine.
We do a lot of running and a lot of training and trying to get stronger as well, and a lot of it is just staying in shape and working to get better.
Right now I'd probably have to give it to probably Sunam Patel. He is kind of the brains behind the senior class. He's making sure all the jersey stuff is done, and he just makes sure everything that coach needs to be done is done.
Definitely Jake Vance. He is by far the best leader on the team, the most outgoing, and he's really very quality leader, I'd say.
Hopefully this season, like last year, I can just be like a leadership role and like a supportive teammate. On like the playing side, I'm not going to be in the top 5 probably. I'm going to be seated a little lower in the team, but I just want to be there for my teammates and just encourage them throughout the season.
We hope to definitely get the sectionals title this year and work on getting our whole varsity to state. That'd be really nice, and just excelling as a team, I'd say.
This preseason report was brought to you by JT Gadosh at Friendly Chevrolet on Parade Crossing Drive in Springfield.
The boys' first invite is at Metamora on Saturday, March 26th, starting at 9 a.m.
Now it's time for our first commercial break. When we come back, the Rush will bring you boys and girls track. Stay right there.
I just realized we rhymed.
I am never getting married. Never. Guaranteed.
You picked a beautiful ring. Thank you. We're never having kids.
I love it here.
We are never moving to the suburbs. We are never getting one of those. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, talk to State Farm agent Steve Bedford in Chatham. State Farm is there.
Welcome back to The Rush. The boys track team has recently started their season. We were able to sit down with some of the runners to discuss their upcoming season.
Well, with 3A, or when we were in 2A, we had the juveniles on our team, and they were powerhouses. They kind of led the conference. They were insane. And now the juveniles are gone, and it's kind of like, now that we're in 3A, they have moved to the other schools, and now it's us against an entire school of juveniles. So we have a bit of a change, but I think that we can handle it. Now that we're in 3A, kind of all bets are off. We're moving people around to see what we can do, how we can make our team better. Like, we're having a couple of people like Justin Montre and Cameron Williams in the 4x8 when they are sprinters. So, and they have done beautifully so far. It is insane to see kids that were so nervous about running a 400 last year come in and just kill an 800. So other than that, I'm excited to see what we can do.
I think that my thoughts for 3A, well, some people don't think it's very beneficial, but I think for as a team in general, it's very beneficial because it gives more intense competition. They'll strive to be better, and in the long run, it's going to make us better probably. Better than we were in 2A is what my opinion is. But mostly I have a lot of hopes for the 4x8 teams, because it's going to be mixed and matched all different to try to find the right combination. And once we find that combination, then that's when we could try to find the school record, if we do it in an experiment, of course. And in the 2-mile also, but more people have opportunities to run the 4x8 is what I'm thinking. So I think that's our biggest one for the distance team. Training, as long as you put in the hard work, and I have confidence that Coach Garber, I trust him. I trust that he knows what he's doing, and I trust his training plans and schedules. And I'm just going to follow him and do whatever he tells me, and hope for the best. And I'm hoping everyone else on the distance team does too.
This preseason interview was brought to you in part by PK&J, media, photography, photo sessions, and photo classes.
2 weeks ago, the boys ran at their first meet of the season. It was an indoor meet at the Illinois Wesleyan University Shirk Center.
We were able to get an early glimpse of the boys' track team this year at the indoor track meet in Bloomington Normal West Gym. The first event of the meet is the varsity 3,200 meter relay, led by Cameron Williams for the first leg. This will be the first 800 meter race Williams has ever competed in. Williams would contribute at 2:10 to the relay, and Luke Karoff would come in closing the race first in their heat to place 9th overall with an 8:50. Let's move over to the field events with senior Ricky Brown at high jump. Brown attempting to jump over 6 feet 2 inches. As he goes up, he clears it with room right there, and he even go on to clear 6'4" in his next jump. He placed 2nd overall in high jump. Ricky wasn't done jumping though, as he next would go straight to long jump and placed 4th overall at 19 feet 8 inches. Now on to the open 800 at the track. We have Heath Warren leading the way behind Paul Gigante. Warren would finish with a 2:01 and Gigante would finish with a 2:14. The next event would be the 4x200 meter relay. It was started by Tony Robb, and he would give the Titans a fair lead around the stretch of the 1-lap 200 meter track. And Cameron Corner would come around to finish at the last 60, turning on the Jets and playing in first place for the event. On to the 2-mile that happened earlier today. We see Landon Skelly, who'd have a tough competition out there with Alex Keeble, a 9:42 mile runner. Landon Skelly would actually finish 15th overall with a 10:42. It just wasn't his race that day. but onto the mile with the junior Chris Durr. An exciting race as he would just be edged out at the end for a third place time of 4:40 right here. And he would just try to get through, but he wouldn't make any time. On to the final event, the 4x4, with Justin Montre leading the way. And the event would eventually be finished off by our senior, Ryan Walters, who would claim third place for the team. This track highlight was brought to you in part by PK&J Media Photography, photo sessions and photo classes.
Then last Friday, the boys and girls runners headed to Illinois College for another indoor meet.
Just last Saturday at Illinois College, the boys and girls track teams competed in their only indoor co-ed meet of the season. The first event of the night would be the girls' 3,200 meter relay. Taylor Justison would lead the group on the first leg, and Cassie Gardner would be the final leg and finish the relay with a 5th place time of 10:29. If you thought the girls' race was good, wait till you see the guys. Leading off the race was Cameron Williams, who would run a 2:06 and hand it off to Chris Durr, who would also run low twos. From there it would go to Landon Skelly, who ran a 2:01 for his leg, and giving it to Justin Montre, a strong lead. Coming down to the line, Montre is just leaned out by Eureka, but still a very impressive second place time of 8:23. On to some field events with Ricky Brown jumping over 6 foot 4 inches for first place overall. He then took a few jumps at the long jump pit and would place 4th with a jump of 20 feet 3 inches. The winner, however, of long jump, Adam Nelson of Triad, jumped 22 feet 2 inches. Back on the track again for the girls' Open 8 with Cassie Gardner and the favorite Allie Goff. Goff would finish with a 2:23 and Gardner would finish at 14th with a time of 2:42. Switching to the guys' Open 800, sophomore Logan Capps stepped up and placed second in this heat, but 6th overall with a 2:10, giving the team 3 points. Very helpful. Moving on to the 200, Ryan Walters, 6th of 7 heats, finishes 2nd overall in the event with a 23.61 second 200. And for the girls 200, Allison Warner would also place 2nd overall with a time of 26.95 seconds. Going to a longer distance, the girls' mile had lots of great runners, the Senators Goff, Rockets Petty, and the Titans Justison. The race started off slow but eventually picked up at the end. Now turning it on at the end of the last stretch. Here comes the girls coming in. Here comes Petty cutting ahead of Goff to finish with a 5:22 mile time. And here comes Taylor Justison with 5:37. She would finish 6th overall. And the boys' mile was just as exciting as the start of the first 800s led by Durr and Skelly. Although Durr would fall off the lead, Skelly would try and hold on but finish 2nd with a 4:36. Durr would finish 9th with an impressive 4:50 still. So a pretty good outing by those two. We go to the team standings. Glenwood's boys team was up there at 105 points for clear first place finish, and the girls team would finish 7th overall with 31 points. This Titans indoor track highlight was brought to you in part by Hy-Vee, employee owned.
This Wednesday, the girls head to the IWU Shirk Center, while the boys don't have another meet until March 26th.
Now it's time for the last commercial break of the day. When the rush returns, we'll bring you girls soccer. Don't go away.
I am never getting married. Never. Guaranteed.
You picked a beautiful ring. Thank you. We're never having kids.
I love it here.
We are never moving to the suburbs. We are never getting one of those. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, talk to State Farm agent Steve Bedford in Chatham. State Farm is there.
Welcome back to The Rush. Now it's time for a personal interview with Glenwood's retiring athletic director and head football coach Dan Rourke. Our own Paul Gigante has more.
Well, coming to Glenwood, it's been a great adventure. I talk to people all the time. They ask me, hey, what was the coolest thing about it? And the truth of the matter is, the coolest thing about being the head football coach at Glenwood High School is the people that I had an opportunity to meet. The coaches that I work with, most of those guys have been with me over 20 years. In fact, all the varsity coaches, and the only one who hasn't coached me that long is Caleb Cox, whose dad, Steve Cox, was the coach with me. And Caleb is now up, so I've known Caleb since the day he was born. So, it's just been, we started out in 1993, and we were building this thing. We were not very good. The team was really not very good at that time. Great guys. I don't want to take anything away from them. They worked hard, but the program just wasn't in set yet. We were able to, I remember when I interviewed for the position here, I made the comment. I made two comments. One was, we'd be a state contender in 5 years, and the second one was, if you didn't like me, you wouldn't have to fire me. I'd just fade off into the sunset. In our fourth year, we made it to the quarterfinals. We were 9-3 in 1997. In 1998, we won the state championship. So I felt very, very good about keeping my word with regards to what I felt like we could do here. And we did, and I say we. I had a bunch of great coaches. Coach Onken was with me the whole time. The next year, Coach Janke and Coach Hay came, so they've been here 22 years. The following year, Coach Edgar came. I've had a lot of other good guys who have come through, but those guys they're the core of the whole success thing. I get a lot of the credit. I'm the head coach. I get a lot of the criticism too. I'm the head coach. So, when you don't win state or when you get beat in a ball game, and that's okay. But I've raised my family here and had just a great time. The students here at Glenwood High School have always treated me fantastically. You always have a few things here and a few things there, but overall, in the last 23 years, it's just been. To be honest with you, I can't believe they pay me to come here and be the athletic director. Set up all these sports and all these contests, and then go out in the field and coach football. Sometimes I'm a little surprised that that's a paying job. So.
We'd like to congratulate Dan Rourke on an outstanding career at Glenwood, and we wish him the best of luck in the future. Feel free to check out the extended interview on YouTube.
After finishing as state runner-ups last year, the girls soccer team is hard at work to prepare for another strong season. We sat down with senior Kane Randall to discuss the team.
Preseason, we all have done a lot of running, and many of us have done club season. Some people do cross country, so we all just take it upon ourselves to try to keep in shape and keep touches on the ball. Probably just like every season, we come together, and it's so great to have like a family within the school, because everyone's just your sister on the team, or mom. I know especially within the grades when they have classes with each other, most people within the same sport, they're friends with each other anyway, and then a lot of people play on their club teams off season together, and then we have like team sleepovers and team dinners and preseason workouts, so yeah, we're together a lot. Certainly have to take on more leadership roles, especially since we lost so many seniors, but yeah, it'll be different, but it'll be good. Our biggest competitor is probably ourselves, just to not psych ourselves out. We'll work as hard as we can in practice against each other, so that way we can just handle each game equally as if it's a state championship game or whatnot.
This preseason interview was brought to you by Krekel's Custard and Hamburgers at 310 Carroll Street in Pawnee.
Now joining us on set is senior soccer player Maddie Sale.
Well, thanks for coming on, Maddie.
Thanks for having me.
So after finishing as the state runner-ups last year, what are your expectations for the team, and how are you guys really trying to come in strong to this season?
I think every year we don't necessarily go into the season thinking that we'll make it to state, but that's always like in the back of our minds. So we just try to reach our potential like every day in practice so that, you know, maybe we might get there this year too.
Who do you expect to step up and lead the team, or like be key players this year?
I think since we have such a small senior class, there's only 4 of us. I think a lot of the juniors are stepping up into like leadership roles this year as well. So I think we have a really strong overall team.
And who or what do you think your biggest competition or the most hurdles you'll have to face will be this season?
I think we're in a really strong conference, so teams like Springfield, Rochester, SHG, they're all really good teams, and so I think having that competition around us really helps us to get better.
In what ways does Coach Leip or the other coaches prepare the team during practices?
Well, we've been doing a lot of conditioning lately, which is good because we need that, and also we do a lot of work, ball work, technique work, and just with our formations, things like that.
And how are you expecting the team to come out to first game against Lincoln, first game of the season? How are you guys going to try to come out with some energy and try to build momentum?
I think we'll be pretty strong. It's our first game's an away game, but if we just keep working hard in practice like we have been, I think we'll like the result.
Well, thanks for coming on, Maddie, and good luck with the season.
Thank you.
The Lady Titans soccer season returns this Tuesday at 5 p.m. at Lincoln, and they have another game on Thursday at 4:30 at Collinsville.
That's it for this episode of The Rush. Glenwood sports have a break this weekend as most spring sports are still just starting up, but be sure to support your girls soccer team on Tuesday for their first game of the season at Lincoln. Thanks for watching and see you next time.